Iota value equivalent to 56443 rands a coin. The present cost range, 5.776169. The earlier day close, 5.90,310. The change was 0.867,483%. Backwards rate, ZAR to IT. Iota cost expectation for July 2024. At the outset cost at 456 rands, excessive cost 566, while low cost 456. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 502. Iota cost conjecture toward the month's end 529. Change for July 16%. Iota conjecture for August 2024. At the outset cost at 529 rands. Excessive cost 657, while low cost 529. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 582. Iota cost figure toward the month's end 614. Change for August 1%. Iota cost expectation for September 2024. Before all else cost at 614 rands. Excessive cost 679, while low cost 591. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 630. Iota cost figure toward the month's end 635. Change for September 4%. Iota figure for October 2024. Before all else cost at 635 rands. Excessive cost 659, while low cost 573. The found the middle value of cost 621. Iota cost estimate toward the month's end 616, change for October 3%. Iota cost expectation for November 2024. First and foremost cost at 616 rands. Exorbitant cost 627, while low cost 545. The found the middle value of cost 594. Iota cost estimate toward the month's end 586, change for November 9%. Iota estimate for December 2024. First and foremost cost at 586 rands. Exorbitant cost 586, while low cost 494. The found the middle value of cost 549. Iota cost gauge toward the month's end 531, change for December 4%. Iota cost expectation for January 2025. In the first place cost at 531 rands. Exorbitant cost 531, while low cost 429. The found the middle value of cost 488. Iota cost gauge toward the month's end 461, change for January 2%. Iota gauge for February 2025. In the first place cost at 461 rands. Exorbitant cost 537, while low cost 461. The found the middle value of cost 490. Iota cost gauge toward the month's end 502, change for February 9%. Iota cost expectation for Walk 2025. Before all else cost at 502 rands. Excessive cost 504, while low cost 438. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 479. Iota cost figure toward the month's end 471, change for spring 62%. Iota figure for April 2025. Initially cost at 471 rands. Excessive cost 471, while low cost 388. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 437. Iota cost figure toward the month's end 417, change for April 5%. Iota cost expectation for May 2025. First and foremost cost at 417 rands. Exorbitant cost 493, while low cost 417. The found the middle value of cost 447. Iota cost gauge toward the month's end 461, change for May 6%. Iota gauge for June 2025. To start with cost at 461 rands. Exorbitant cost 572, while low cost 461. The found the middle value of cost 507. Iota cost gauge toward the month's end 535, change for June 1%. Iota cost expectation for July 2025. To start with cost at 535 rands. Excessive cost 582, while low cost 506. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 542. Iota cost figure toward the month's end 544, change for July 7%. Iota figure for August 2025. Initially cost at 544 rands. Excessive cost 592, while low cost 514. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 551. Iota cost figure toward the month's end 553, change for August 7%. Iota cost expectation for September 2025. At the outset cost at 553 rands. Excessive cost 553, while low cost 467. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 519. Iota cost conjecture toward the month's end 502, change for September 2%. Iota conjecture for October 2025. At the outset costed 502 rands. Excessive cost 583, while low cost 502. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 533. Iota cost conjecture toward the month's end 545, change for October 86%. Iota cost expectation for November 2025. At the outset costed 545 rands. Excessive cost 545, while low cost 462. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 512. Iota cost conjecture toward the month's end 497, change for November 88%. Iota figure for December 2025. Before all else costed 497 rands. Excessive cost 617, while low cost 497. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 547. Iota cost figure toward the month's end 577, change for December 16 1%. Iota cost expectation for January 2026. Initially costed 577 rands. Excessive cost 627, while low cost 545. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 584. Iota cost figure toward the month's end 586, change for January 16%. Iota figure for February 2026. Initially cost at 586 rands. Excessive cost 637, while low cost 553. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 593. Iota cost conjecture toward the month's end 595, change for February 15%. Iota cost expectation for Walk 2026. At the outset cost at 595 rands. Excessive cost 647, while low cost 563. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 603. Iota cost conjecture toward the month's end 605, change for spring 17%. Iota conjecture for April 2026. At the outset cost at 605 rands. Excessive cost 656, while low cost 570. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 611. Iota cost figure toward the month's end 613, change for April 13%. Iota cost expectation for May 2026. In the first place cost at 613 rands. Exorbitant cost 629, while low cost 547. The found the middle value of cost 594. Iota cost gauge toward the month's end 588, change for May 1%. Iota gauge for June 2026. To start with cost at 588 rands. Exorbitant cost 639, while low cost 555. The found the middle value of cost 595. Iota cost gauge toward the month's end 597, change for June 15%. Iota cost expectation for July 2026. To start with cost at 597 rands. Excessive cost 597, while low cost 517. The arrived at the midpoint of cost 567. Iota cost figure toward the month's end 556, change for July 69%. Iota figure for August 2026. Initially cost at 556 rands. Excessive cost 628, while low cost 546.